Welcome to day 9 of Writing Your Novel in a Month challenge. Today we're going to discuss the main plot arc and also share different types of scenes that you may want to be writing into your story. What is the story arc? The story arc is an overreaching novel structure that charts the journey of the main plot from the beginning to the end. It encompasses the challenges, turning points, and growths experienced by the protagonist and antagonist and other characters as the story unfolds and on through till the ending. Just as you might map out the growth of your protagonist or antagonist, the story helps organize key scenes, transitions, and climatic moments. Um, it identifies the opening and final scenes as bookmarks. And okay, so think of your final opening scene and final scenes as bookmarks of your main plot. Imagine that between these two bookends, there's other steps that occur. Okay, so we'll call these story anchors. Now, the first story anchor, of course, is the opening scene, which we'll cover more in depth tomorrow. The second one is the plot point one. At this point, this is where the main character goes from what he knows to what he doesn't know, or where the story actually really takes off. The midpoint is a critical scene that occurs at the heart of your novel, representing a major turning point for the protagonist. It often features a significant revelation. Okay. From there, it goes to plot point two. And this is a key moment that typically occurs near the end of the second act before the story's climax. In this scene, the protagonist faces the final challenge of setback that tests his resolve and pushes them to make that decisive choice, the one that leads to the catharsis scene, or also known as the climax scene. This scene is emotional climax of the novel. It's where the protagonists experience a powerful release of pent-up feelings, followed by the story's central conflict. Following the story's conflict. Um, it results in personal growth for the protagonist. It leads, confronts his deepest fears, and then well, uh, like a song, that has a crescendo. This is the end of the crescendo, and then comes what they call the wrap up. Just the end. Um, so in this scene, you wrap up um, how the character has changed, and this moment doesn't need to be elaborate. It just needs to be a brief scene that gives readers a sense of completion and satisfaction that the story has come to a close. Okay, so these are the major scenes. What comes? There are other scenes, of course, in the story, and we'll go over some of them. Different kinds of scenes that you might face in your book. There's the exposition scene. It's the scenes that introduce background information, settings, characters, motivations, and helps readers understand the world of the story. So this is basically, your world build from your world building. These are the scenes that you create, so that the character has an idea, or the reader has an idea of where they are. Okay. Transition scenes. These are scenes that are used to move from different times or different places. Um, then there's the character development scenes. These focus on deepening the reader's understanding of the protagonist and other supporting characters through dialogue, introspection, or revealing actions. Um, the more you go into showing it through actions and less through, what thought thinking, the faster your story will move, and so on. Um, Relationship building scenes. These are, it's kind of self-explanatory. Um, then there's conflict scenes. These are the scenes where, a lot of action happens. Um, smaller, you'll have smaller conflicts or obstacles that arise between the main plots, keeping the tension alive and the protagonist challenge. It's it's these kind of things that um, a lot of people miss, or a lot of writers miss. You have the sagging middles. These kinds of scenes will prevent um, that from happening. You have reflective scenes. These are scenes where you get into the characters' heads, and so on. Foreshadowing scenes. These scenes are quite important. If you have something that happens later in the book that you're not sure if your characters or your readers are going to believe are real. So you want to put a foreshadowing scene ahead of time. You might want to put some historical information or some kind of fact in earlier, so that when this scene happens, the readers are going to find it more believable. There's the setting or mood scenes. These are things that give you a night, like a dark starry night. A dark rainy night. That kind of idea. Describing those kind of things, and you want to get you don't want to just say, a dark starry night. You want to um, show what that kind of night is. Um, so each type of scene plays a critical role in maintaining pace, deepening character arcs, and in an overall story beyond the primary plot milestones. And it's challenging. It can be really challenging to write these stories. The thing to do is, or these scenes. The thing to do is to at this point, you're just going to write them, and then as time goes on, you'll get into more of the show and tell kind of situations. So um, we'll be developing more of this into the future. I just wanted to share with you what's going to be happening in the next few weeks, where we're going with this, um, how we're going to develop, how you can develop your own storyline and make it more believable and more readable as time goes on. We're not just doing prompts, off the wall prompts here. We are actually getting deep into how to write your stories. If this has been good, um, leave a comment in the comments below, and I appreciate your time.